Good morning, everyone. So in today's class, we'll be discussing about RTP of November 2020. I was told that students want a discussion on this. So we are going to take 1 hour and we are going to discuss almost all the questions in RTP. But one thing that I want to state at the very beginning itself is if these questions, if I have covered in my revision lectures, then I won't be covering this question again in detail because no point. Okay. Okay. So I'll wait for 1 minute so that the notification is sent and all of you join the class. Okay. Hi, good morning. Okay. So let's start with question number 1. Now, even in your examination, they may ask you a case-based question. They are going to ask you a case. And this case study may include certain details that you need to carefully observe. And on the basis of the information which is given to you, you are supposed to answer these questions. So first, let us read this case study properly. Okay. First, they are saying multiple choice questions. Okay. Now let's start from the very beginning. This is your subject name, that is Enterprise Information System and Strategic Management. Section A, Enterprise Information Systems. These are the questions. So first question is multiple choice question. So you'll be given with the options and you are supposed to choose which is the correct option. So first question, they're talking about question number 1, which has 1 to 4. 4 questions are there, and this is based on case scenario. Question number 5 is independent. It is an independent question. So for the first 4 questions, you are supposed to refer this para to answer that. Okay. So what is the first statement they are saying? Sweet and sour is a established food chain. It is a established food chain with 5 branches at different locations within Delhi. Okay. One second, my screen sharing just got stopped. Okay, it is visible again. So sweet and sour is an established food chain with 5 branches. So they have how many branches? 5 branches at different locations within Delhi. In 2018, the management decided to start a tiffin service with 24/7 availability on regular basis. Okay. Next, to do so, they decided to acquire a software. They decided to acquire a software which would be an online assistant to its customers. So underline the word, this is very important. That is, it is going to be an online assistant to its customers by providing them a complete detail about their services. So what is the software going to do? If customer has any question, they can ask and the software will answer the question. It is not a person sitting there who is answering the question. It is the software which is an online assistant which is answering the question. The management asked its manager to present them a report mentioning the benefits, risk, control objectives, and all highlighting any changes that are required in the working of food chain. Basic details. Next, what happened? The management settled on a plan to benefit all its customers by providing them a discount coupons. This is a promotional scheme. So what is this promotional scheme? In case they recommend their services to others and customers, ensuring to provide the food chain of 3 new customers. So if I am a customer and if I am making other 3 people to use their services, then they are going to give me some benefits, some gift coupons or some discounted coupons. Also, the management decided for a centralized billing. Okay, this could be one more important information. That is, there could be centralized billing system that mandatorily requires customer's name and phone number. Okay, some information about customer name and their phone number to be filled for each bill that system generates. To maintain these necessary details of its customers, the data management team of Sweet and Sour implemented major changes in the database. Oh, this is important. They implemented major changes in the database design. Why? Because now they want the details of their customer name and their mobile number as well. Okay, for every order. of its billing software. Subsequently, the security and database maintenance has become essential to protect the system against any unlawful activity, as the database now contains the personal details of the customer, that is their name and mobile number. So this is one case study what they have given. Now, next there will be 4 questions. Now, this 4 question is purely dependent on this para. So, if you could really understand this para, you get these 4 marks. So, let's see what is the first question. The first question is, the software which food chain decided to buy to help their customer and provide them online help falls under which of the following technology? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it data mining? Is it cloud computing, or is it mobile computing? What is the answer? So first I want you to give a try. You tell me what is the answer. What is it? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it data mining? Is it cloud computing? Is it mobile computing? Now, till you answer, I will actually show you in practically what they're trying to implement. Okay. So let me take you to this website, something called as HDFC Bank. So this is a HDFC Bank website. So here on the right side, okay, wait, okay. So on the right side, do you see something called as Ask Eva? Let me zoom. Okay. Do you see this Ask Eva? Okay. Now, when I click on Ask Eva, what happens? So this screen appears. Okay. So now, so if let us say I have certain questions as a customer, as a bank customer, I have some questions, and for me, rather than directly calling and asking an HDFC employee, all that I have to come and do is come to this website, click on Ask Eva, and let us say I have some doubts regarding credit card services. I'm going to click on credit card services. So they will, again, one more question will come. Let's get started. You can ask me for credit card summary, statement details, reward points. So I want to understand something to do with reward points. I'll click on reward points. Now again, surely, please select your options, accumulated reward points or redeemable reward points. Let me say accumulated reward points, and happy to help. First, I will need your registered mobile number. Now, see, the moment I provide my mobile number, they will again give me some other information. So here, what you need to understand is it is not a human who is sending me these replies. It is a system which is replying just like a human. So this technology, what we call it as, this is artificial intelligence. So hence, the answer should be, it is artificial intelligence. Good. So all of you have answered it correctly. Great job. Next question. The manager of the food chain prepared a document wherein he depicted various business processes of the food chain in diagrammatic form. What are we talking about? We are talking about a flowchart. Which of the following diagrams will he use to present a predefined process? Okay, so question is very simple. If you have to show a predefined process, what is the diagram structure that you use? Now, first is, we need to understand what do you mean by predefined process. Normally in your EIS, we don't actually use predefined process when we draw a flowchart. So this is a very specific question which requires a specific answer. So let me tell you, what do you mean by a predefined process? Okay, so here, let us say that you want to compute, discount. You want to compute discount for every order. Okay. Now, how the discount is computed? So you write one formula. Okay. Let us say you write one formula, and formula is, let us say that formula has 3 steps. Step 1, then step 2, then step 3. Okay. So every time you have to calculate this discount, either you have to show separately how step 1 is computed, or step 2 is computed, or step 3 is computed, or alternatively, what you can do is you can predefine it at once. You will define it somewhere that, if ever in future we want to calculate discount, these are the 3 steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. And every time you have to use it, you don't again and again, you don't write step number 1, 2, 3. Instead, you will simply mention saying that this is already defined earlier. This is already defined earlier. So every time you don't have to draw it. Every time you don't have to do 3 steps, because every time if you keep doing it, your flowchart becomes lengthier one. Okay. So what you do is you just give reference to the previous calculation. So when you give reference, what is the structure that you use? Okay, so maybe you wouldn't know the answer, but this is the structure what we use when we give a reference to the predefined structure or predefined process. Okay, nothing much to learn about it. Just remember this, more than enough. In examination, if they ask, answer. Next, question number 3. Now, this is a very straight question. This has got nothing to do with that, the para. The straight question is, the data management team of Sweet and Sour food chain was working to implement changes in the database design. Why? Because earlier they were not collecting customer name and customer number. Now they are collecting. So your database should have a separate column to collect customer name and customer mobile number. So they need to change this database. Now, which of the following person, this is the question, which of the following person will carry out the routine data maintenance and monitor this task? Who does the routine maintenance in a database? Okay, again, this is a very straight question. The answer is, it is database analyst. Now, who is a database administrator? So this guy is the one who actually builds the database. Okay, who actually builds the database. Then we have database architect who actually designs the structure of it. So this guy is the one who actually designs the structure. What is the work of database analyst? He does the routine maintenance job. He does the routine maintenance and monitoring job of the database. So there is nothing called as database advisor as a technical post. Database advisor is a person who advises how it has to be. But in your syllabus, this concept itself is not there. Okay, next. Again, this is a very straight question. The management of Sweet and Sour has shown its concern what would happen if any of its employees dishonestly make use of personal information of the customer. For example, let us say that there is a hotel. Okay, they have a food chain. No? Some customer has given their mobile number and their name. So let us say one of your employees simply takes one customer's detail and tries messaging them, or alternatively, one of your employee takes the entire database and sells it to your competitor. So all the personal detail will be leaked. So now the management wants to know, if one employee does that, what is the punishment that we can give it to him? Or is it even an offense, or can an employee do that? So which of the following section of IT Act 2000 will help Sweet and Sour to deal with this situation? Now again, this is a very straight question. If you know the answer, you know the answer, or else you don't know the answer. Now, section 43A actually talks about the sensitive personal information. Okay, it talks about personal information. So they say you are not supposed to leak any personal information. So if any corporate is collecting information about its client, it has to ensure that these details are kept confidentially. Now, what is this section 43 talks about? Later in this RTP, we will actually discuss what section 43 is. So I'm going to reserve it for the later part. But what is this section 66E? Now, section 66E talks about if anybody, shares any private pictures. Okay, if anybody shares any private pictures of a person without his or her consent, then this is an offense as per section 66E. Now, what is this section 66B talks about? Section 66B talks about, see, B for buying stolen electronic devices. Okay. Now, normally in trains and all, people snatch your mobile phones or laptops. Now, a robber, at the end of the day, if he wants to make money, he has to sell it to some shop. So, if a shop owner purchases these, stolen devices, then he will be punishable under section 66B. It is an offense. Okay. So, answer to this question is section 43A. Good. The students are answering. I'm happy. Next, let us talk about question number 5. Now, this has got nothing to do with the para I mentioned above. This is an independent question which they told earlier. The question is, the management information system of SVE Limited Enterprise develops a MIS reports only when required. Simple. See, what is MIS report? MIS report means, see, this is the main hotel which has 5 branches, okay, which has 5 outlets. Now, if the head office wants to find out what is the weekly sale, what is the monthly sale in one sheet. Okay, in one sheet of paper, entire detail has to be there. So how will the detail be mentioned? Let us say this is one sheet of paper. Now they are going to talk about different hotels, the branches what they have. So here it is hotel, let me say this is hotel A, hotel B, hotel C, hotel D, hotel E, the branches. Now sales, okay, sales of ABCD hotel, and let us say expenses, profit, all the details of all the hotels, I want it in one piece of paper. So this one piece of paper or one piece of document is called as MIS. Now, normally, whenever you develop that software, you can configure it in such a way that on a daily basis, this report is printed, or on a weekly basis, this report is printed, or on a monthly basis, this report is printed. But in this scenario, what they're doing is they're saying we don't want it daily, weekly, or monthly. We want it when we want to see it. So only when we require, we will print it, or else we don't want that report at all. So this type of MIS report, we call it as on-demand MIS reports. We call it as what? We call it as on-demand MIS reports. Simple question. Now, let's go to the theoretical questions. Okay. ERM framework. Okay. Now, one thing about EIS you need to understand is question is often a direct question. Okay. Question is often a direct question, but they will always have one extra sentence. Okay, one extra sentence. They could have simply asked you this, what is that? Briefly explain all components of ERM framework. That is the question. So this is simply one statement. Okay, it has got nothing to do with the answer. So let us read the statement. It says, ERM framework identifies risk and opportunities to protect the business and create the value for stakeholders, including owners, customers, regulators, and society overall. That is not the question. Question is, briefly explain all the components of ERM framework. Okay, that is the question. So now, what are the components of ERM framework? In revision videos also, we discussed this question in detail. Okay, so there are 8 components of ERM framework. Sir, I've read it, but I'm not able to understand it. I will give you one simple example first. And with that example, you will be able to relate it in a better way. Now, what is enterprise risk management? See, what is enterprise? Enterprise is nothing but an organization. Enterprise is an organization. What is risk? Risk is possibility. Risk is a possibility of loss or possibility of an undesirable event. Now, every enterprise has risk. Okay, every organization faces one or the other type of risk, but organization should manage that risk. All right, what they should do? They should manage that risk. Let me share my screen again. Okay. Now, how can they manage their risk? So they are telling step-by-step process. How do you manage your risk? The components of risk management. Okay. So now after let us take the example of COVID. Okay. After COVID came in, every country reacted separately. Okay. India went for a complete lockdown, whereas China initially went for a rigorous lockdown, whereas US did not even bother, and there was no lockdown at all, no strict lockdown at all, and other countries had a mixed approaches. So every country has their own way of managing their risk. Okay, so it is not that all the countries will react in a similar fashion. Same way, when we talk about companies also, all the companies have their own way of responding to a risk. They have their own way of responding to a risk. Now, let us say after COVID came in, you might have seen certain companies told employees, you don't even come to company to work, you work from home, you sit at home and you work. But some companies said, you come to organization, we will provide you enough PPE kits and you work in our organization. Some companies said, don't worry, COVID is not a big virus at all. You come and you start working, nothing will happen. Some companies said, you come, you work, if something happens to you, we will compensate your family by, let's say, 10 lakh rupees, 20 lakh rupees. So risk is actually same for everybody. The COVID is same for everybody, but the way they react, the response is different. So the question is, if tomorrow they call you as a consultant, okay, as a chartered accountant, management will often call you to take consultancy from you. So if they call you for the consultancy and they ask you, what should we do? So how are you going to consult them? First thing is, it is not for you to say that, don't call them back, make them sit at home. No, it is not up to you to decide. First thing is, you need to understand the organization. You need to understand the organization. Okay. So I'll just directly take you through those 8-step processes. First thing is, you need to understand internal environment, how the company is, whether they really care about the health of their employees, or whether they, whether they only care about profit maximization, whether they only care about their clients. So you understand. So if you feel that company is all about employee, giving more importance to employee health, then you can suggest saying that it is better that you allow them to work from home. But if you understand, let us say you are a consultant of a company where you understand that the internal value of the company or their integrity level or the internal environment of the company is fully focused towards profit maximization. They want to make more money. Now, what you can suggest them? What is that you can suggest them? First is, you understood the internal environment. That is, they want profit maximization. So you need to consult accordingly. So you have understood their internal environment. Next, next step is going to be, you are going to set the objective. There is some problem with screen. 1 second, I'll stop sharing. Okay. So second step is objective setting. So now what is objective setting? Objective setting is, company wants their employee to come to office and work. That is the objective. Company wants their employee to come back to the organization, do the work, deliver the services, raise the invoice, collect the fees, maximize their profit. That is the objective setting. So you even understood the objective of the company as well. So you understood the internal environment. You also set the objective for the company. Next one is, for you to do this, there is a risk. What is the risk? If employee from all over the country, they're coming and again starting working in your organization. Now, out of 100 employees, maybe 1 or 2 maybe COVID positive cases also. Now, if there are 1-2 people who are COVID positive, then they can spread it to all the 100 people, correct? So there is a risk that all may catch COVID and there may be some death cases. So here, first thing is, you need to identify the event. You need to first identify the event which will spread this virus. That is, let us say, if people are sitting closely to each other, or if they're sitting in an AC room, all these things. So you identify the event which will trigger the spreading of this virus. Okay. So in COVID case, by not maintaining social distancing, the situation may get worse. So you assess the risk. The next step is to assess the risk. That is, if everybody catches COVID, then what happens? Okay, then maybe for the next 15 days, everybody will be sent home, or everybody will be put under quarantine. Work will not happen. Okay, work will not happen, and even some may be hospitalized. Again, their hospital cost company has to bear. So you assess the risk. Okay, you examine the risk. Then after assessing the risk, what are you going to do? The next step, what you are going to do is, you are going to devise your risk response. What should be your risk response? First one is, you make let us say you draft the okay, you design the risk response. That is, you say, okay, let's make social distancing mandatory. Okay, one is social distancing, plus maybe giving them PPE kit would help. Giving them a proper PPE kit would help. Plus, and what else can be done? Let's say every time employee comes in, you test their temperature and you see if they have fever or not. So these are the risk response, what you sit and you decide as a consultant. Okay. Now, next step is to be control activities. Control activities in the sense, you need to write down as a proper policies and procedure. You need to write it down. First one is, if you simply say social distancing, your employees will not understand what social distancing is. So you need to write a policy in which you write what is actually social distancing. An employee should not sit next to 6 feet from the other employee, or it could be, lunch time. Let's say earlier days, maybe at 1 o'clock, everybody would go for lunch, but now you wouldn't do that because there will be a huge crowd. So you may say that 12 o'clock, one batch will go for lunch, 12:30, another batch will go for lunch. So these are the control activities which you'll write down. Okay, you will write down the policies, you will write down. Next, if you write down whether employees will get to know, whether managers will get to know, no, you need to inform. You need to inform the people in charge. So you will say, you will make it mandatory that every time the employee comes in, he has to wear the mask. Now, even the security guard needs to be informed about it, or else what he will do? If you just think in the head office saying that everybody should wear mask, your security guard will not know. He will simply sit. So once you design this policy, it has to be communicated even to the person who works in the lowest the level in the organization, lowest hierarchy in the organization. So you inform all of your employees how to maintain social distancing, how to maintain hygiene, whom to contact if they get some COVID symptoms. So everything has to be informed to the employees, informed to the stakeholders, informed to your customers. Then you need to get their feedbacks as well. Okay. Next is going to be monitoring. Monitoring in the sense, management should, let's say, once in every 10 days, once in every 15 days, taking your employees for COVID test, or you make a temporary routine health checkups, and you see whether your control activities are actually working or not. If they're not working, then maybe you have to change your risk response. So this is the components of ERM. In reality, this is a very simple concept, but I want you to read this answer and remember the keywords. And you need to, you cannot give an example in the examination. You have to write this word. But this example which I gave, so that you can understand this concept in a very simple manner. Okay. Next, let us go ahead and take the next question. Question number 6 is done. Let's look at question number 7. Okay. Okay, this is a flowchart question. Okay. The question is, an e-commerce site has the following cashback offers. So we are only talking about cashback offers in this question. So if purchase mode is via website, you give 5% discount. If they are purchasing via app, you are giving how many percentage discount? 10% discount. If done via any other purchase mode, maybe somebody is directly going to the shop and ordering, okay, or somebody is calling them over the phone and ordering. This is all any other mode. That time there is no discount at all. There is, so can I say that no discount means 0% discount? Answer is yes, it is 0% discount. So there is 3 possibilities. Customer may purchase from website, then it is 5%. He may purchase from the app, then it is 10%, or any other mode, it is 0%. Next, this is, he is eligible for this discount. So let me call this discount as initial discount. I'm going to call this as what? I'm going to call this as initial discount. So you understood what is initial discount. Okay. 5%, 10% or 0%. Next is, every purchase eligible to discount is given, okay, every purchase eligible to discount is given 10 reward points. Every purchase eligible to discount is given 10 reward points. This is a very crucial line. So understand this. I will take 2 minutes to explain you this. Read this line again. Every purchase eligible to discount is given 10 reward points. So which are the purchases which are eligible to discount? This, that is via website and via phone app. Let's take various examples to make this thing very clear. Let's say Mr. X. Okay, so Mr. X is a customer. Mr. X is a customer, and who is purchasing There are three modes, no? Let us say there are three modes. That is website and application and other modes. So now, whether if you purchase from website, are you eligible for initial discount? Answer is yes. Okay. So if you are eligible for initial discount, you are also eligible for reward points. If you are eligible for initial discount, you are also eligible for reward points. For example, let us say Mr. X purchased 5 times from website, and he also purchased, let us say, 4 times from mobile application, and let us say he has purchased 6 times from others, that is from going physically to the shop or from phone he has called. So you tell me, what is the reward point he is eligible for? What is the reward point that he is eligible for? For every eligible purchase, for every purchase which is eligible for discount, for every purchase eligible for discount, you get 10 reward points. You get 10 reward points. So tell me, how much reward point Mr. X is eligible for? Okay. So if you are getting it, if you're finding a little tricky to answer, let me help you here. First question you ask is whether if somebody purchases from a website, okay, whether he is eligible for initial discount. Here answer is yes, here answer is yes, but here answer is no. Correct? Okay. So the statement says if they're eligible for initial discount, then they will get the reward points. So how much is the reward point? Here 5 into 10, that is 50 is the reward point. Here 4 into 10, 40 is the reward point. Here, can I multiply 6 into 10? Answer is no, because I am not eligible for initial discount, so I am not eligible for reward points on these purchases as well. So what is the total reward points that I have? I have 90 reward points. Okay, am I clear on this? So this is how I calculate the reward points. This one thing that you need to understand clearly first. Okay, next. Good. So Swati has answered, Sonu has answered. Good answer. Now, so here they are saying if your reward points are between 100 and 200, okay, if your reward points are more than 100 but less than 200, then you are eligible for how much discount? 20% discount. You are eligible for 20% discount after deducting the initial discount. Next, if the reward point exceeds 200 points, the customer is eligible for further 25% discount. Okay, so if your reward point is more than 200, then you are eligible for how much percentage discount? 25% discount. So if it is more than 200, 25% discount. If it is more than 100, 20% discount. But if it is less than 100, then it is 0%. So can I say he is eligible for only 0% discount? Answer is yes. If it is less than 100, then it is 0% extra discount. So we have two types of discounts. One is based on the purchase mode. If it is website, phone application, separate discount is available. Then discount on the base of your reward points. So now they are saying, taking the purchase mode, bill amount and number of purchases as input, draw a flowchart to calculate and display the total reward points and total bill amount payable by the customer after the discount calculation. Okay, so this is the question. So let's draw this flowchart. Now the flowchart which I'm going to draw is slightly different from what is given by your institute. I'll also give the reason why it is different. But again, you are free to choose whichever you want. Okay. So whenever we start the flowchart, what is the first thing that we are going to do? We are going to start. Okay. So even if you don't know anything else to do, you just write like this, start. maybe you will get 1 mark for this. No, just kidding, you will not get any marks. So only for doing this. Okay. So there might be a little lag between what I'm writing and what you're able to see because of some technical error. So start. So once you start, okay, now this is like this. Okay. So let us say I have a calculator with me and I am doing the calculation. Now already in my calculator, there is some number. Okay. I don't know whether you can see or not, but there is some number. So if I really want to start, and if there is already a number here, what do I do then? So before pressing any other button, what do? I press on, that C button or AC button or any other button. So I see that every value is set to 0. Okay. Every value is set to 0. So same way, whenever a new customer comes, my system may have data of previous customer. So what do? I have to set everything to 0 so that I may make the fresh calculation for the new customer. Okay. So what am I going to write? First, I want to initialize. Initialize and set everything to 0. What are the things? Okay. First one is, let us say purchase mode. No, let me set the value to 0. Okay. All the values. Which are the values? Let us say bill amount. Okay. I want bill amount to be 0, comma. Total bill amount also as 0. Next one is number of purchases also as 0. So should I write shortcuts or should I write the full entire sentence? I leave it to you. But if you write the full, then your flowchart will look like it will go for pages together. So I prefer you go for this shortcuts, the abbreviations what you use. Then you have to suppose to say what this B actually stands for. You cannot randomly write XY and without telling what this XY actually is. So you have set all the value to 0. BA is 0, TBA is 0, number of purchases is 0. Next, what do you want? Next information is when a customer comes, let's say Mr. X comes. So then you want input. Okay, I can write enter or I can write read. Now, whenever I'm entering a value, remember I draw a parallelogram. So I'll say read, what are the details which I want? Read, what is the bill amount? I want to read what is the bill amount that he has purchased. Next one is, can I read total bill amount? No, see, total bill amount I calculate. Okay, I can't directly enter into the system. So what I want, one is what is the bill amount I want? Next information I want is, what is his purchase mode? Is he purchasing from application, website or other modes? Next, I want details about his number of purchases. Okay, so system will ask these 3 data and I need to put information. Okay, so I have bill amount, I have purchase mode, I have number of purchases. Next, how do we go ahead next? So now I have this information. No? Okay, now let us start with a calculation. The calculation is first, so purchase mode is entered, right? So here you have entered purchase mode. Now I want to calculate discount on the basis of this purchase mode. So what will I do? I'm just changing the color so that I can differentiate between different processes. In examination, you don't have to change the color, use only black color pen. So now, first question, what I ask is, okay, so whenever I ask a question, it has to be asked in a diamond shape. So is purchase mode is equal to website? This is the question. Answer can be in Boolean. That is, it has to be either yes or no. There cannot be maybe. Okay, it either has to be yes or no. So let me draw 2 arrows. It is yes or no. Now let us say if it is yes, then what happens? If it is yes, then what happens here that we have discussed? If it is yes, then 5% discount is given. If it is app, then 10% discount is given. No? Okay. So let me go back to my flowchart. Okay. If yes, then how much percentage? 5%. So I'll write like this. So initial discount, I'm going to write as initial discount is equal to 0.05. This is the way of writing percentages. Sir, can I write 5% like 5 and percentage? Answer is yes, you can still do that. No problem with that. Or This is one, if it is website. If not, then what happens? Then what happens? You have to ask one more question. What is the question? Okay, let me ask that question. Is your purchase method is phone app? Is it app? Again, answer could be two. Yes or no. Now, if it is yes, then what happens? Your initial discount is going to be 10%. It is going to be 10%. If it is no, then what happens? If it is no, then your initial discount is going to be 0. Nothing. There is no initial discount at all. Now, see, one thing about flowchart you need to remember is everything has to be connected. Okay, so you cannot leave this. See, here, this has to be connected. It has to be connected, and I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to pull this down, and I am going to make a calculation. Okay, but remember one thing. I don't want, if you're writing, I want you to stop writing this, because I'm going to erase whatever I'm doing, this one step. So I can do this. Okay, I can connect here, and I can connect to this, and I can pull it down. Okay, I can do that. Then I can calculate the bill amount. I can calculate what is the bill amount. So bill amount will be bill amount minus initial discount. Bill amount minus initial discount. In formula, how do I write it? That is bill amount minus bill amount into initial discount. Correct? So for example, don't copy it down. For example, let us say earlier, your bill amount was 1,000 rupees. It was 1,000 rupees, and he purchased from website. So what is going to be the new bill amount? It is going to be 1,000 into 5%. That is 0.05. That gives you how much? That gives you bill amount as 950 rupees. Am I correct? This you will get the answer. No problem. You can do this. Next. Okay, you can do this. But the problem is going to be, wait, again, the screen sharing problem. 1 second. Okay. You can do this, but the second discount is there, no? Remember, I made this one table, and I told you that the total reward point you will only get if you purchase from website and app. You will not get if you are purchasing from other mode. Okay, you will not get from other mode. So total reward point will happen only if the purchase is from website and application. Okay, so that is where instead of directly calculating this amount, okay, instead of directly coming and calculating this, what I want you to do is don't do this. Before doing this, you do one more computation to calculate your total reward points. Now, total reward point you will get only when it is your purchase mode is a website or a application. So when it is yes or yes, you will get a total reward point. So here, what you are supposed to do is calculate the reward point here. I'm going to change the color so that you don't confuse with the process. So here you will calculate reward points. Okay. Reward points is equal to number of purchases into 10. Reward point is equal to number of purchases into 10. So this is what you will arrive at. Okay. So why am I doing only here? That is because if my purchase mode is something else, I will not get this discount. I hope I'm clear to you. Next, you come back to the previous calculation. That is, 1 second. That is okay. You come back and I'm going to take again red color so that you understand what is the process flow. So now you are going to calculate the bill amount. Again, calculation always happens in a rectangular box. Okay, it happens in a rectangular box. Now, how do you calculate it? It is bill amount is equal to bill amount minus bill amount into initial discount. So here you will get what? Here you will get the initial discount amount. Next, you will give a discount based on the reward point. Okay, so again, you have to start asking the question. What is the question you are going to ask? You are going to ask questions like this. Now, question is going to be, is reward point, okay, so this is the next process. No, I'm going to change ink again. Is reward point greater than 200? If it is greater than 200, what percentage of discount that you're eligible for? Answer could be yes, answer could be no. If it is yes, what are you eligible for? You are eligible for extra discount. I'm going to write ET discount of 0.25%. That is 25%. Or if the answer is no, then you ask again one more question. So this is where this answer is slightly different from your institute answer, because they're asking two question in one diamond shape. Normally you should not do that. So is RP greater than 100? If it is greater than 100, then what are we going to do? It is going to be extra discount is equal to 20%. Okay, so answer could be yes. If the answer could be no as well. So if the answer is no, then what is answer? Extra discount is 0. Extra discount is 0. Now again, connect all these things. Here you pull it down, here you pull it down, then bring it down. Then what are you going to say? You're going to calculate the final bill amount. Okay, so total bill amount is equal to bill amount which you calculate in the previous step minus bill amount into extra discount. So you get the total bill amount as well. So by doing this, you will get the total bill amount. Then what you want? You want to print this. You want to print. So what are you going to print? That is output. Output and input always in parallelogram. So you are going to say display or print. What are the things that they have asked you to print? They have asked you to print what is the total bill amount. You print it, and you are also going to print. What is the other thing that they have asked you to print? Also display total reward points and total bill amount payable. So you are going to print total bill amount and total reward points, or RP, not TRP, that is RP, because in our calculation we only took RP. Then next I'm going to say stop. Next step is going to be stop. Let me show entire flowchart to you again. Quickly, let us run through it again. First, you start it, then you clear your system memory. So you set everything to 000. This step is called as initialization. You initialize it. Next, you are going to put inputs. You are going to put inputs of what is the bill amount, what is the purchase mode, what is the number of purchases. Then first discount, initial discount you calculate. You ask, is purchase method website? If answer could be yes or no. If it is website, then 5% discount. If the answer is no, then you ask another question, is it phone application? If the answer is yes, then you give the discount of 10%. Then before you proceed, you will also calculate reward points, that is number of purchases into 10. Then you will calculate here, if it is answer is no, if the purchase method is not application, not website, then initial discount becomes 0. Then you calculate the bill amount. That is bill amount minus bill amount into initial discount. Then next step is we go for reward points. If it is more than 200, then 25% discount. If it is more than 100, then 20% discount, or else extra discount is going to be 0%. Then you calculate the total bill amount is equal to bill amount minus bill amount into extra discount. Then you're going to print and stop. If you do this, you will get full 8 marks. Then you are supposed to tell what is NOP is equal to number of purchases. Then you are supposed to say what is PM, that is purchase. If you don't do this, they will not even give you 1 mark. You shouldn't do that. You should write what is this. Then you are supposed to say what do you mean by IN disc, that is initial discount. You are supposed to say what is ET discount, that is nothing but extra discount. Then you are supposed to say what is RP, that is nothing but reward points. Then you are supposed to say what is TBA, that is total bill amount. And what is BA, that is bill amount. Simple. You do this, you will get full marks. Okay, next. Let's go to the next question. Now, a medium-sized enterprise ABC Limited wants to acquire financial accounting system not through its own IT infrastructure. So they don't want to develop their own IT infrastructure, but they want to outsource its IT function using a cloud-based application. Okay, so they want to use a cloud-based application. Now, what is a cloud-based application? Let me take you through one more. That is, let's say, Zoho Books. Okay, so this is a cloud accounting software. So all that I have to do is I have to come here, then I'm supposed to log in. Okay, so I log in, I put my ID and password, then I can pass my journal entries. I can print my balance sheet, profit and loss account. So everything using a cloud application. So now let us go back to the question. So what is the question they're asking? Question is enlist. So this is actually the question. Other is simply a information. Enlist the characteristic of cloud-based application on various parameters that would help ABC Limited. So you're supposed to talk about characteristic of cloud-based application. Okay. So again, it is a very straightforward question. There is in study material also it is given, and even the answer is also given. So you just have to reproduce this answer. Just go through it. What are the benefits of using not benefits, basically what are the characteristic of using a cloud-based application for your accounting purpose. So you don't have to install the software, you don't have to maintain that software. Accessibility, you get 24/7 accessibility using any internet. You can also have a mobile application to access this particular software. Then data is stored. Where is it stored, at your end or their end? It is stored at their end. Okay, so if it is stored at their end, then there is one more risk. What? That is a data security. That is one more question. So you need to have a strong SLAs. What is SLAs? That is service level agreement. That is, they will promise that they will take care of your data, and even by mistake, if your data gets deleted or data gets leaked, they will compensate you for that. So that agreement that you are supposed to have. Then performance. So performance is purely based on your speed of the internet. Then flexibility. So it is very flexible. That is to say, if I want to develop an in-house accounting software, let us say it is going to cost me 50 lakh rupees. This is a capital expenditure, one-time expenditure. Then every year I have to spend, let us say, 50,000 rupees for its maintenance. Now in a cloud application, I don't have to do anything. Let's say Zoho Books, let us say it costs 20,000 rupees every year. Okay, so if my business is small, let's say it costs 20,000 rupees. But when my business grows, it is scalable. I can take more features, and maybe I may have to spend 40,000 rupees, I may have to spend 70,000 rupees. But again, it is scalable. Only when my business grows, I can grow increase my requirements. So these are the characteristics of cloud-based software when it comes to accounting. Next, let us talk about one more question. That is, this is done, this is done. Okay. So this is also very straightforward question. In your study material, there is the answer. Okay. Identify the functional mode of ERP. So they are asking which module of ERP, which controls the business flow in an organization, and facilitates coordinating, monitoring, optimizing all processes in organization, and elaborate the key feature of this module. Normally, they will say, in ERP, we have different modules, correct? We have a HR module, which takes care of all the HR activities. We have purchase module, sale module, all these modules are there. Now let us talk about HR module. So normally they may directly ask you a question saying that, write down the key features of HR module. Okay, so you at least know the question is with regards to HR module, but here the question is very, tricky. So they are asking, first you find which module is that, then once you identify which module is that, write down the feature of that module. So first I want you to answer, which is the functional module that controls the business flow in an organization? So answer is there in the question itself. Which is that module which controls the business flow in an organization and facilitates coordinating, monitoring, and optimizing all the processes in the organization, and elaborate the key features of this module. So tell me which module you're talking about. Which module are they talking about? Okay, let me give you a hint. The hint is, answer is there in the question. Okay. Good. So Shrikant answered. It is controlling module. Okay. So now what is this controlling module? Basically, see, this module or this particular module helps an organization to first set a budget or set a standard. Then you compare your actual performance to that standard. Now in your intermediate course, whatever you're learning in costing, see, this costing is integrated with the help of this controlling module. So you just think which are the chapters or which are the chapters you study in this costing subject. If you're studying standard costing, which is there in this control module. If you are studying, or if you're not studying now, you'll study in your CA finals. If you're, ABC, that is activity-based costing, or let us talk about process costing, or if I'm going to talk about transfer pricing, or if I'm going to talk about various other costing modules, everything are put in this controlling module. So what basically is costing? Costing helps the organization to manage its cost in a better way. So let us say they allocate the funds, marketing 5 lakh rupees in a year, okay, and other administration 10 lakh rupees in a year, and at the end of every year or at the end of every month they sit down, they see how much was budgeted, how much is actual, what is the variance, what are the reasons for this variance. They ask question to the concerned person. So all these things you can do manually also, or you can do with the help of a software. This software is called as controlling module. Simple. Okay. Now they are talking about controlling module. So you understood what is the module. So I'll give 2 marks to you for doing that. Okay. So now they are talking about key features of controlling module. So in controlling module, what are the features? So I say you have a software, no? So what are the things that you can do with the software? So you can do accounting. Okay. Then you will say, sir, accounting we can do in accounting module also. Then why do you want a controlling module? No. See, this accounting is only for the internal purpose of the organization, not to give it to your stakeholders. Okay. For example, you can do cost center accounting. Okay. You can do cost centers. Now, what is cost center? I said, first one, you can say marketing, a different cost center, administration, different cost center, finance, different cost center, HR, different cost center, and you can do accounting for individual centers. Okay, for HR, how much cost we spent this year, how much cost we spent last year, then you compare. Okay, then you ask question, why are we spending so much money on the human resource, whereas our sales is falling down, but we are spending more on the human resource? Maybe this is the right time we fire few employees. This is how it is done in the corporate. So that is called as cost center accounting. Next one you can do is activity-based costing. So now, what is this activity-based costing? Let us say you're manufacturing a product. You're manufacturing a product. Now, there are different processes. Let us say there is process 1, there is process 2, there is process 3. Once you do process 1, 2, 3, the product is ready. Okay, now you simply should not call everything as your manufacturing cost. You need to say, okay, process 1, how much is the cost? Process 2, how much is the cost? Process 3, how much is the cost? On the basis of activity. Okay. Now, I want to talk more about it, but I'll refrain from talking more about it because of two reasons. One is this is 1 hour revision of your entire RTP, and second one is I'm teaching you EIS, not costing. So what I want you to do is just go through these points. That is, you can have internal audits, you can manage your product cost controlling with this module, you can do profitability analysis with this module, you can do profit center accounting with this module. So in simple words, you can do everything what you study in your costing using this module. Okay, I want to stop there itself. Next, let us talk about question number 10. Okay, question number 10. Share and Care is a multinational FMCG company having various branches in different cities across the country. Is that the question? No, that is just information. The company used a centralized data warehouse to store data of all branches at its headquarters in Mumbai. Is that the question? Answer again is not. The question starts in the last line. Elaborate the benefits of data warehouse. Simple. So in EIS, find the question. Other things, question may look lengthier one. Don't panic. It is not a question. Question is elaborate the benefits of data warehouse. So what are the benefits of data warehouse? See, what exactly is data warehouse? So they are saying Share and Care is a multinational FMCG. They may have 100 unit outlets. Okay, maybe one in your city, one in my city, one in all the states. They may have 5 units. So more than 100 units, they are having their outlets. Now, every outlet on a daily basis does sale, they do purchases, they incur certain expenditures, they pay salary, they run offers. So there is a lot of data which is created. Now, the data can be kept in those outlets or it can be collected at one place. It can be collected at one place. So when you collect the data at one place, you need a larger space. You need a larger space to store that data. Now we call this larger space which collects the data of all the branches as data warehouse. Okay. So now it is called as data warehouse. Now the question is, what are the benefits of having this data warehouse? So why this big of a company wants data at one place or in a data warehouse? Why can't the branch outlet have their own data? That is because simple answer could be management takes decision on the basis of data. Earlier days it was not so, because earlier days you had no technologies which would enable you to collect the data at one place. So only on the basis of experience the senior management would take decision. But these days the decision is based on the data. So we call it as data driven decision making. So if a management wants to take a decision on the basis of data, the data has to be there in the data warehouse. So the question is, what are the benefits? So simple answer is going to be, that is question number 10, no? Okay. The answer is here. First one is, maybe individual outlets. Okay, let us say I said there are 100 outlets. There are 100 outlets, and individual outlets are collecting data. But one outlet is collecting unnecessary data. For example, let us say one outlet is collecting customer name, customer number, only that much. Another outlet is collecting customer name, customer mobile number, customer email ID, customer house address, customer PAN number, customer Aadhaar card. Now, see, there is one outlet is collecting only minimum data as possible. One branch is collecting maximum data as possible. But what will the company do on the basis of Aadhaar number of the customer? Nothing. Okay, what will the company do on the basis of the address of the customer? Nothing. So head office will decide what data has to be collected. Okay, if head office says we want customer name, customer mobile number, and let's say customer email ID, only these three things, all the 100 outlets should collect only these three information. So there is uniformity Okay, so first benefit is going to be the process of developing a data warehouse forces an organization to better understand the data that is currently collecting. So they will understand, okay, some branches are unnecessarily collecting the data. Okay, and at the same time, they will also realize what data is not being collected at the moment, which may be important or which may be necessary in the future days to come. So first advantage is organization will get to know what is being collected, what is not being collected. Second one is a data warehouse provides a centralized view of all data being collected across the enterprise and provides the means for determining the data that is inconsistent. So I said, all the branches are going to collect only these three details. Okay, so branches won't be permitted to collect any more inconsistent data. So if some outlet employee wants to collect address of the customer, the software also won't allow. Okay, it will say, I want only these three things, I'm going to store only these three things. Simple. Next, once all data is identified as consistent, an organization can generate one version of truth. One version of truth. That is, what is my daily sale today? I can have with the help of my data warehouse. What is my net profit today? I can identify with the help of my data warehouse. I can say in which month I make most of my sales. I can identify with the help of my data warehouse. So all these things, one version of truth I will get when data is collected and put it to one place. Okay. Next, by having a data warehouse, snapshots of data that can be taken over time, this creates a historical record of data. That is, in future, after 5 years, I want to see how I was functioning in 2020. Okay. For me to do that, I want all the data at one place. How can I have all the data at one place? By data warehouse. Next, a data warehouse provides tools to combine data which can provide new information analysis. So, for example, let's say a company runs a discount, a promotional scheme. Okay, that is, let's say, a flat 30% offer or flat 40% offer or buy 3 get 1 free. Now, a company wants to understand, if I launch which of these offers, my sale will increase. Okay, so the company wants to do data mining. They want to do data analysis. For them to do all these things, first thing is they want a data warehouse. So these are the benefits of data warehouse. Good. So we discussed that question. What is the next question? Next question is going to be, in information system, logical access controls ensure the access to system, data, and programs. Discuss various technical exposures. So simple thing, the question is they're talking about technical risk. They're simply talking about what? They're talking about technical exposure or technical risk. This we discussed in detail in revision of 3rd chapter. Okay, so I'll not discuss it again. I want you to go back and I want you to watch the video. Okay, go to revision video, 3rd chapter. I guess it is part 3. There, this discussion we have done. So various risks, that is, it could be data diddling, or it could be viruses, it could be worms, it could be Trojan horse, it could be salami technique, or it could be rounding down. So all these things discussed there. I want you to refer from there. Let us go to chapter number 12. Miss Nisha has set up a home tiffin service along with her business partner, Miss Seema. So these two people are setting up one business. Though Nisha is not convinced, her business partner, Miss Seema, is certain to adopt the digital mode of payment than the traditional method in their business. So they want to collect money with the help of Paytm or UPI or Phone Pay, Google Pay, all these things, or swiping the card. But one partner is not okay. One partner is not okay. So to convince Nisha about the same, Miss Seema jotted down the advantages and disadvantages of digital payment. So what is the question? Question is this. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages of digital payment? A straight question directly from your study material. In the material what we have given you, the answer is there. If you don't have our material but you're referring from the study material, there also, the institute study material also, answer is there. Okay. So simple. What are the advantages and disadvantages of digital payment? You have to just read it. That is, it is easy and convenient. It is, you can send it from anywhere. You can, sometimes you also get discounts from taxes. For example, in petrol bunk and all, you get some discounts. And if the amount is less than, No, let me not take you through the GST angle as of now. So you will get some discount from taxes also, and it is a written record. Cash you spend, you don't even remember where did all your money go. But if you're paying, if you're receiving from a phone pay, you know how much you actually received, how much you actually spent, and it is less risky because technology has developed a lot since past years. So unless somebody else can copy your fingerprint or your UPI pin, they can literally do nothing. What are the disadvantages? If you're a non-technical person, you can't use it, and there is also risk of data theft, no matter how secure you make it. There is still a possibility. We read in news these days that there is a fraud, so there is still a possibility of fraud, and then there is overspending, which is possible. That is, you have a credit card, you go on swiping everywhere, but if you only have 100 rupees in your pocket, you cannot spend 10,000 rupees. But with a credit card, you can still do that. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. So there is a question which is asked. Sir, are we expected to reproduce the same things in the answer in examination? Answer is yes. You are not supposed to write examples. You are supposed to write what is given in the material. Okay. So this requires repetition. Repetition not by reading but by writing. Okay. This is the one important thing I want to tell. Most of the people fail EIS not because they don't know, but they don't know how to write because they just learned it by reading. I want you to learn it by writing. Next, in EIS, will it be enough if we write highlighted points from the study material and explain those on our own? Will we get full marks if we follow this? See, again, you cannot write on your own words. You have to write the concept. Maybe, see, there are some technical words you need to write it. Just writing the the side points will not help you to fetch the full marks. Okay, so let us say if it is a 6-mark question, and if it has 6 side points, and if you can reproduce all the 6 side points as it is in the study material, I would say you will get around 2.5 marks. Okay, so inside the content also is very important, what you write inside. So here I'm simply writing one of my examples. No, you are supposed to write the technical words. Again, write and practice. All right. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Nisha has set up. Okay. Okay. Question number 13. Mr. R, as an IT manager of a financial company, advised his managers to allow their senior employees to use their own computing device for office work under bring your own device policy. So they are saying bring your own device. Computer employees, you bring your own computer. Okay. So now the management wishes to know about the risk associated with BYOD. So this entire thing is not the question. So here the question is briefly explain the classification of BYOD risk. So when we talk about bring your own device, okay. So what is good thing for the organization? One is organization does not have to spend money on the device because employees will purchase on their own. Second one is employees only will maintain their device, and as it is employees' device, they will be more careful. This is the advantage, but the question is not that. Question is we are talking about risk of bring your own device. If you're asking your employees to get their own device, what is the risk that you have? So let me take you through question number 13. Here, first one is network risk. Now, what do you mean by network risk? Now, network risk means normally, see, let us talk from a simple way. Okay, so let us say I am conducting one physical class. And 20 students have enrolled for my course. Only 20 students. I know who are these 20 students. I know when they sit in my class that these are the 20 students, and I teach them. Okay, but let us say I am having an online class. And I'll give my, let us say, ID and password of my class to my students. And let us say again only 20 people joined the class, but I don't know whether these 20 people are the same one who actually enrolled for the course. It could be anybody. Okay, it could be anybody. So what is the problem here? The problem is I don't get the visibility. I don't get the visibility. Same thing will happen. Same thing will happen in the corporate also. So normally in the bigger organization, they will authorize devices. Authorizes device. Let us say there are three computers, one, two, three. So they will say only computer one, two, three can access the main network or main server or main database. Okay. So only if you're accessing from one, two, three, you can access it. But when you are saying bring your own device, you cannot do this. You cannot say that only from computer one, two, three I'll give you access, because you have to give access to any computer which the employee brings. Okay, so your network is at risk. So any company can connect your network. Sorry, any laptop or any device can connect your network and cause harm to your organization. That is the first point. Next one is device risk. See, office computer, people will not take to their home, but the employee laptop, they will take to their home, no? So if employee loses his laptop, all the data might be there in the computer. So there is a high possibility that person who stole that computer may also get access to the data of the company. So that is a device risk. Next is application risk. That is, so if it is a company software, sorry, if it's a company laptop, company can say you can install this software and you cannot install another software. But if it is employees on computer, you cannot say that you're not supposed to install another software. So employee may install any software he wants. So he may at times may by mistake install some viruses, malware, which will in turn cause damage to the organization. Okay. Next, implementation risk. Now, what is implementation risk? Here, now organization have decided that let us roll out bring your own device policy. But imagine, think of a situation: employee is bringing his laptop. Now he is using his laptop for only his personal work. In office, he is sitting and he is doing his personal work, and the company cannot even monitor his work because that is not the organization's computer. That is the computer of the employee. So even if the organization wants to implement it, there are certain implementation risks. That is, they may fail to educate the employee, they may fail to communicate the policies to the employee, and employee may take everything wrongly and misuse the resources of the company. So all these things are the risk of bring your own device. Next question is, okay, last two questions pending, I guess. Okay. Okay. So here, Agro Development Bank is a cooperative bank with two branches in Jaipur city. The bank has decided to implement core banking system in both branches for better interconnectivity between its branches and also facilitate management of deposit, loan, and trade processing. This is not the question. Okay, this is not the question. Question is, explain the various stages involved in deployment and implementation of CBS. Okay. Explain the various stages involved in deployment and implementation of CBS. Yesterday we discussed exactly the same question, so I'm not going to discuss it again. Again, how do you implement it? Same process. First you do the planning, then you do the approval process, then you do the, first you plan for it, then you approve it, then you discuss all these things which we discussed in yesterday's class. Just yesterday, in the sense, you search for EIS chapter 5 part 2. Okay, this question is discussed there. Next one is explain section 43 of IT Act 2000. Explain the section 43 of IT Act 2000 related to penalty and compensation for damages to computer and computer system. So this is section 43 particularly. So here you can never even think of writing something in your own words. You're supposed to write what section 43 of IT Act says. Okay. So just for the purpose of your understanding, I'm going to take you through section 43. What is section 43? I told initially also, 43 I'll be taking at the end. So here is the end. Now, what do they talk about? They say penalty and compensation for damage to computer system, etc. So let us say that you are using your phone, somebody snatches your phone and throws it down, and your phone breaks. One possibility. Or else you give your computer to your friend or any person, they download something, some viruses, and all the data in your system is gone. Or you as a company hire some of your employee, and employee does some mistake, you scold your employee, then your employee with anger goes and deletes everything in your computer. Or he even throws your computer down and damages it. Question is, what can you do? First thing you will say, sir, shall we file a police complaint? Again, no, don't directly go for a police complaint. First thing is, when you even go to police station, what is that you are supposed to say? You are supposed to refer to section 43. So what does section 43 of Information Technology Act say? It says, if any person, it could be anybody, without the permission of the owner. So who is the owner? You are the owner. Without the permission of the owner or any other person who is in charge. Let us say you are the owner, but you have told your friend to take care of your system. So either I have to ask you or your friend, because you have made him the person in charge. So if anything I want to do with your system, I either have to ask you or your friend who is in charge. But without the permission, if I don't even ask you or your friend, if I do what? Of a computer system or a computer network, if I do, what are the things? If I access or secures access to such system, that means, let us say you have kept your phone on the table and you have gone for lunch. Okay, without asking you, I've taken your phone. And I've started, browsing through your phone. So without your permission, I'm accessing or securing or getting access to your computer, or it could be computer resource, or it could be network. It is a crime. So in your home, if your parents access to your phone without your permission, show them section 43 and say it is a punishable offense. Next one, forget about accessing. Without your permission, if I download, copy, or extract any data which is there in your computer or in your mobile phone, without your permission, if I download or copy or extract data without your permission, then it becomes a crime. Next, introduces or causes to introduce any computer contaminant, that is virus. What will I do? I'm not going to copy anything from your system, but I'm going to put a pen drive which has virus, which will spoil your system. Now, that is a crime. Or else, what do I do? Damage or causes to be damaged any computer system or computer network. What am I going to do? I'm going to break down your computer, cut your network. A crime. Disrupt or causes disruption of any computer system or computer network. What do I do? Place one big magnet next to your computer network, and computer network will stop working, or your computer will stop working. It is a crime. Or denies or causes the denial of access to any person authorized to access any computer system or computer network by any means. Let us say, what am I going to do? You are the owner of your mobile phone, but I will do something by which you will not get access to your phone, or by which you will not get access to your network. So simply put, let us say there is an employee, there is an organization, employee wants to access the server. Okay, server and employee computer are connected with the help of a network. So what am I going to do? I am going to disrupt, I'm going to cut that network wire, or I'm going to do something with which I will make employee system not reachable, or the server not reachable to employee system. It is a crime. Denies or causes the denial of access to any person authorized to access any computer system or computer network by any means. This we discussed, no? Yeah. Next, provides any, or point number F can also be denial of service attack. If I do a denial of service attack, what is this? Chapter number 3. Next, provides any assistance to any person to facilitate access to a computer system or a computer network in contraventions of the provisions of this act. It means I am not doing it. It simply put, let us say somebody wants to rob a bank. Okay, so they ask me, I am not going to rob the bank, but what I am doing is I am going and helping them to open the door. Okay, so I know how to lock pick the keys. So if I can go and open the door, can I tomorrow say I did not steal anything from the bank? No, I am providing assistance. That is also a crime. Charges the service availed of by a person to the account of another person by tampering with or manipulating any computer system or computer network. Let us say, okay. Let us say I am Netflix. Okay, I am Netflix, and you are actually not using the Netflix at all. Okay, you have not even subscribed for Netflix, and somebody else is using the Netflix. So now, as a Netflix, instead of collecting money from him, if I collect money from you, let us say I already have your debit card number or credit card number, and if I directly collect money from you, I am charging for the services availed by a person, somebody else, but I'm charging you, then it becomes a crime. So these are all the offenses under section 43, and it is a punishable offense. So here, all destroys, deletes, or alters any information residing in a computer resource. So here we are not talking about damaging the computer, but we are talking about destroying or deleting or altering any information residing in a computer resource. Then it is a crime. Next, steals, conceals, destroys, or else or causes any person to steal, conceal, destroy, or alter any computer source code. This is important. So what is this computer source code? Now, computer source code basically means the main program, how a software is written. Okay. So let us say, there was one case where a Google employee, I don't know whether a Google employee sold the source code to Uber or Uber employee sold the source code to Google about self-driving cars. Okay, about self-driving cars. Now, see, there is a company who is working on a software project. So, employee of that company stole that computer software, computer program, computer source code, and sold it to the competitor. And competitors use that information. Now, the employee will be imprisoned. Employee will be imprisoned. So, this is the crime under section 43. So, these are the crimes under section 43. You will be punished. To what extent they will be punished? Not told under section 43. It is told under some different section, not a part of your RTP. Okay. So, this is your RTP. So there is one question that is, sir, is there any high possibility related to IT Act? Yeah, they will ask. They will ask at least 4 to 5 mark question from, definitely they will ask from Information Technology Act. So please explain what do you mean by intranet? See, intranet means an organization is, is connected using intranet. So it is not accessible by somebody else outside. See, internet means one system is connected to all the system of the world. That is internet. Intranet means within my organization, computers are connected to each other. So is it connected to all the computers of the globe? No, it is only connected within the organization. That becomes intranet, that is within the organization. Okay, so banks use intranet, that is within the organization. Militaries use intranet, that is within the organization. Next question is, sir, for question number 14, can we write the answer for process for implementation, identify the objective, hire consultant, determine ROI? No. This is specific to CBS. How do you implement CBS? You are talking about chapter 2, correct? You should not do that. Understand the question very clearly. Next, sir, please explain what is meant by intranet. I explained. What is XBRL tagging? XBRL tagging, I have explained it. I want you to go back and watch, I guess, chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 revision videos you watch. There I have explained you what XBRL tagging is. It is there in YouTube. Okay. Again, it is 10 minutes concept to explain. It is already explained. So let's keep it small and simple. Okay. So it is 1:15. It is time for your lunch. Read well for your examination. Don't waste even a single day. If you write and study EIS, there is a high possibility that you can score exemption in this chapter. Sorry, in this subject. Okay. Read, write, and practice. Write and practice. With that, I want to. Okay. So somebody is like, sir, please provide an example of XBRL tagging. Okay. So see, XBRL tagging basically means, I'd say like this. See, XBRL tagging basically means, let us say I'm in India and somebody is there in which country? Let's put France. So they talk which language? French. So here I talk what? English. So here, an Indian company prepares its financial statement. Okay. So financial statement will be in English. So whether a French guy can understand, answer is no. Okay. So what do I do? So in XBRL, there is something called as XBRL schema. Okay. XBRL schema, which says for your local purpose, okay, for your local purpose, you call anything by any term which you want. Okay. For example, even if you want to prepare your financial system in your accounting in Hindi, go ahead and prepare in Hindi, no problem at all. Okay, you prepare in Hindi, but you need to tag it. You need to link it to one item. What do we call in English? Okay, let us say in English, I call it as I don't know what do they call inventory in Hindi. I don't know what they call. So, but let us say in Hindi you call by some other name, but in English you call it as inventory. Okay, in English you call it as inventory. Now, all that you have to do is by a click of a button, your financial statements, which is there in English, will be translated to French. Now, this can happen only if you tag the terms properly. Okay, so if you don't tell that this actually means inventory in English, then the software cannot translate it. So XBRL tagging basically refers to you tell the software what is the exact meaning of this term. So the software understands what does it mean by it, then it can translate to other languages. Okay. More about it, you go back to that chapter and you will understand it. All right. Okay. Fine. Thank you for being wonderful audience. Let me hear how did your examination go after your exams. Thank you.